and welcome to the Riverside as we are just moments away from the start of this one. A rather pleasant day for northern conditions this time of year in England. Not a rain cloud to be seen. Phil Shane sitting alongside Ray Hudson as Borough tries to continue the quest to where they have never been before.
Yeah, beautiful spring evening for what should be a real humdinger of a semi-final. Steaua Bucharest have got their noses in front from that 1-0 win in Romania in the first leg of the semis. But they face an enormous task here tonight, Phil. Middlesbrough and the fanatical supporters are looking for quick revenge and reward after being cruelly knocked out by West Ham.
Jones in goal for Borough. Riggett, Southgate, Kudrow the back line with Parnaby on the near side. Rochenbach, Boateng, Downing and Taylor joining Hasselbank and Viduka towards the front for Steve McLaren. Now, McLaren also has the possibility of being named England's new manager for the next World Cup, provided the rumors of Scolari aren't true. Ogăraru putting Fernandes in goal. Ogăraru, Jone, Goyan, Marin the back with Odrita, Rădoi, Lovin and Bostina in the mid, Dică and Jakob in the attack. There as we take a look at the tunnel at the Riverside. Get set from Teesside. It is Middlesbrough and Stau next on Goal TV. We are underway. The red of Borough from the left to the right in the first half of play. Stau moving from the right to the left, wearing the blue with the white trim. Ball swept to the near side by Boateng, off to Parnaby. He has been a danger man on the flanks for Borough all year long. Skips into the middle for the big Aussie Viduka. Tries to drop it back and cleared into touch.
We've got to give Steaua Bucharest an awful lot of credit and respect, and Middlesbrough will tonight, but they're coming out with fire in their eyes. But this Steaua Bucharest team, Phil, they should have beat them more handily in Romania. They beat them 1-0, and there was several chances that the team in blue just squandered, could have padded this lead, but now the initiative and incentive swings back to Teesside, and Middlesbrough are out for blood.
Ball touched into the middle from Downing. Viduka against the grain, cleared away, and look at the numbers back for Star. They are obviously focusing in, but on the quick counter, nodded aside. Good defense from Riggett, and as he is normally wont to do, sitting up in the stands, not the case here today for McLaren as he starts bench side.
I think he feels the heat of the fire under him as well, Phil, because he really wants, he's implored his players to come out and get the tempo of this game right up into, out of first gear, right into overdrive from the first whistle, and McLaren's making himself and his presence known on the sidelines.
Good chance here from the flank from Bostina. The cross to the middle, cleared by Southgate, and it will spin out right near the flag, and a corner kick upcoming, our first of the game. Heading over to take it, Bostina.
Not many nights you get sellout crowds here, even when Middlesbrough's been high up in the Premiership.
Towards the spot, headed and over the bar. Something we haven't mentioned either, Jones in goal, because Borough at the most unopportune times using their big Aussie international at the tail end of the campaign. Schwarzer out for the rest of the season with a broken cheekbone.
Yeah, it's a real bad injury to Schwarzer in that FA Cup semi-final. As you said, broke his cheekbone, but he's been capably replaced by Jones, his fellow Aussie. But Viduka even said missing the number one goalkeeper in Schwarzer is an enormous blow to them. No disrespect to young Jones, of course, but Viduka said that's not what we needed for this game.
Ball off to the far side.
Mark Viduka himself having a fantastic season.
Ball touched back. Kudrow leaves it for Riggett. Kudrow long upfield and off target. He missed much of the campaign due to injuries, which is one of the reasons why Borough never quite found the Premiership form.
Right, and he scored 7 goals in the last 11 games, Viduka, so he's playing as well as he's ever played in his entire career, and that's from the man himself. He's full of confidence and full of beans. Let's see if he can be the hero here tonight.
Brita trying to push it down, knocked aside for the throw.
they play lovely football themselves. Steaua Bucharest, really slick. All good technical players, is always the case with these Romanians.
Drop back to Oprita. Left foots it in. Jones back, an easy grab. Steaua Bucharest, formed back in 1947. And obviously even more successful back in the days of the Eastern Bloc, where the military had its way and where the funding went. But back towards the top of the table. Familiar name, one of the reasons was Walter Zenga helped them regain some form. Nice work to the middle, skips past Hasselbank, cleared away nicely. Golan forcing it forward.
Steaua Bucharest looking to get into a UEFA Cup final for the first time in the history, but it's just 20 years after beating Barcelona in the old European Cup. So they've had their glory years, and as you say, Phil, it's not an old club by historic standards, 1947, but they've had their very good teams, and they've got a lot of pride. They're not just out of the blue this side. And I thought they were very, very impressive in Romania against Middlesbrough, and really let too many big fish off the hook. It should have punished them further than that 1-0 win. That's a very slender lead to take into this game. Stevie McLaren there knows full well that this is the most historic game. If they get into the final, he'll have achieved something that this club has never come remotely close to in terms of prestigious events.
Foul. Looks like it might go against Burrow as the fans letting know their frustration down to the pitch. It will go in favor of the Lions. Take a look here. Losing his balance just a little bit. Jakob manhandled to the ground by the Brazilian Rosenbach. An all-Slovakian refereeing crew here today. Lubos Mikl, the man in the middle with the whistle. Headed back by Joinier. Into the mix, and Fernandes, the Portuguese keeper, out to grab hold.
Steaua without a couple of very influential players in the midfielders, Nicolita and Parashiv, especially Nicolita, who was very instrumental in that first leg. And they've got a lot of players riding on a very, very thin line in terms of yellow cards that will temper the tackles and temper their sorts of approach to this game, because there's one of 6 players out there in the blue shirts. If they go into the referee's book, they'll miss the final. So you can imagine them being on thin ice and being a little tentative with the challenges. That's good news for Middlesbrough.
Blasted up by the former Boavista goalkeeper out to midfield, where it's regained by the home side. Rosenbach. Viduka.
Nice play.
Parnaby almost snuck it in. Knocked aside by Marin for the first corner of the game for Burrow.
Well covered by Marin, but it needed a better ball. It's good approach play by the Borough. Swings out wide. Parnaby slaps at it. Back post was on, son. Had Hasselbank lunging into there like a big torpedo on the back post.
Swept into the middle, too close to Fernandes, and an easy handle.
Player that's got to pick his form up here tonight is Downing as well. Had a very, very erratic game back in Romania in that first leg, and been a little bit off colour. Tremendous player, young Nick Downing. Great ability, absolute certainty, future international. He's got to get his feet on the right legs tonight and be the main provider for big Hasselbank and Viduka.
Off to the near side for the throw.
Just watch for him. Number 19 in the red. He is an extremely gifted player out wide.
Another foul. Not happy about it was Jakob. Actually, Dică, one of those players you were talking about that needs to worry. He's one of the players carrying the yellow card. Going to stay on the bench And on the pitch are 4, Dică, Rădoi, Goyan, and Ogăraru. They're already missing a couple of starting midfielders, Nicolae and Parashiv, due to suspensions from the last game. Into the middle, nice touch back from Jimmy Floyd, out to the flank for Downing, and there is what has happened over the tail end of the season. Man who was Mr. Automatic last year, showing he's human this year.
Beautiful approach play, lovely switch ball outside by rushing back, too heavy. And you can read lips, and he didn't see a vacuum.
Collision, both players grabbing their heads. Bounds down.
Another extremely, very, very good player in Riggett. One of the academy players come through Middlesbrough's ranks, very highly loaded in the United Kingdom. The Middlesbrough Youth Academy, fabulous setup at Middlesbrough, first class.
Nice cross from the flank. Southgate to the near side and out for a throw.
Their patron, Steve Gibson, the chairman, has put absolutely millions into building this club.
Oh! Bobbled by Jones, the collision, and the foul will go against Jakob.
Gibson's investments really starting to show through in the amount of young players Middlesbrough have got coming in up through the ranks, in the likes of Downing and Riggett. First class setup, the training headquarters out there. They have to be seen to be believed. The medical facilities, the gyms, the training areas, just incredible. One of the finest in all of Europe.
Nice work down the flank. Crossed into the middle of it. Too much on it. Over Dică, cleared away. Back from Oprita in the midfield. A little bit of a push. Nope, they'll say offside as not getting back in time. First flag of the day against Steaua.
They're defending resolutely. They're very well organised. Very tough to break down. But they are missing Nicolae and Parashiv in that midfield. And that's really going to give this guy here with the ball a lot more freedom to operate on. They've been good in the approach, Middlesbrough, so far. But they really still haven't found big Hasselbank yet with any dangerous balls.
A little bit too far over the head of the big man who says, my fault. Got caught off on the wrong foot. Take a look at the bench that McLaren has, and you can obviously tell he realizes there's a chance he might need a late goal from Echiog to Cattermole to Parler to Macaroni and Ayegbeni. There is plenty of depth on the offensive side because McLaren realizes that defense really doesn't matter here. They need the goal. Yes. They'll need 1 or 3, basically, to stay alive.
He wanted that early one as well. He came out at the press conference and said they're going, you know, hell for leather the first 25 minutes to try to crack the dam and bring this crowd into it. The crowd's already doing their part. They're in full-blooded battle cry here at this super little ground right by the River Tees.
Flipped forward by Boateng. Misses the mark of Hasselbank. Not easy to do. Taylor misses the interception, and all the way back it goes. Nice to have Southgate and Riggett patrolling the center of your defense, and Southgate finally, and somewhat ironically, in a hard campaign for Middlesbrough, seems to have found his form.
Yeah, definitely good to see them too, Southgate and Riggett reunited, Phil, in the heart of Middlesbrough's defence. Great understanding between them.
Jakob checks in. 6'3", almost 6'4", in his second year with Steaua. Boateng again, the long ball intercepted. Marin pinching in. Good outlet ball, but well read. Riggett over to Parnaby. Boateng all the way back. Southgate forward. Rochenbach with a left-footed ball down the line for Downing. His header for Viduka intercepted. Nice work here from Staua, but the feed ball forward just a hair too long, and Southgate intercepts. To this point, as Rochenbach takes off, Staua has done everything asked of them. And remember, they're in the driver's seat. Boateng, Hasselbank.
Well, they may be in the driver's seat. They better enjoy the ride while they can, because if this Borough team gets that first crack, gets that first goal, you could put your house on them getting a second.
There's Cosmin Ogăraru.
But it won't be easy. It's like we said, they're defensively very well disciplined. They're very composed on the ball. Every one of them, real good footballing feet on them, and they find each other really nicely. But like I said, there's a great bit of that ingenuity out of this team, and sitting on the sofa back home in Romania, and they are big guns that they are missing tonight. Middlesbrough's got to take advantage of it.
No one home down this near flank. Boateng sometimes patrols the right, but playing more in the center today. Jakob dropping it back, but too hard as it goes past Lovit. Now off to the far side. René, Jakob, Dică. Out to the flank for Marin. Marin, low, off foot Jones. Dică buries it into the corner. Well-weighted ball from the flank, and Dică there to pick up the rebound, and you have to wonder if that was one that Schwarzer would have stopped.
Absolutely, you got to look at the goalkeeper Jones for this one. The Australian knows it, the fans know it. It's a very composed finish by this man, Dică. Ball gets lovely, considerate play by Steaua Bucharest, finding them each other with real great authority and confidence. He spills it, he leaves it out, and it's a red carpet for Dică.
Către coming through, lost his footing. In fact, the entire defense seemed to be on the carpet when Dică picked up the ball. Calm finish as well, but again, absolutely. Jones just left it on the doorstep.
No, he rolled the red carpet out and said, come in and have tea and crumpets. And Dică was only too happy to oblige. He was cool and collected. It's a great vicious strike, mind, for Jones to handle, but goalkeeper's got to be faulted for that.
Celebrating his 26th birthday in just a couple weeks' time, and Dică giving himself and Staua a little bit of an early present. Meanwhile, Jones on the other side, you know what thought is going through his head? He's been waiting almost the entire season for this opportunity that was gifted to him by Schwarzer's injury. And there had to be a few jitters. A well-struck shot.
That's terrible goalkeeping, Phil. It's just slapped out to Dică. And look, he's got all the time in the world to find his mark. But that is woeful, woeful goalkeeping for a highly regarded Australian international. Viduka was right, man. He said at the start of this game, missing Schwarzer is huge to our team.
And again, what we talked about earlier when I said 1 or 3, this is where the road goal becomes that much more important. Aggregate right now, we are 2-0. But should Middlesbrough score 2, it would be aggregate 2-2. The tiebreaker, road goals, Staua would have it. And thereby, that one goal we just saw means that Borough now needs to score 3. Well, it also eliminates the possibility of extra time.
Go back to the quarter-final second leg on April 6th against Basel. That's what these will be going through the Middlesbrough's heads and the coaches' heads. They've done it before, Phil. They've rattled in 4 that night against all the odds as well. But this could be phase 2 of that. Let's see. That's an enormous hill they're facing now.
Jones, meanwhile, coming over as insurance from Blackpool after some time with Rotherham United.
that great night against Basel on April 6th. Macaroni scored in the last minute to get the desperately needed final fourth goal to take them through into the semis.
And look at the cleat marks.
Can they do it again? Devastated. Perfect start for Steaua Bucharest. Turned the apple cart over.
Not a whole bunch of work going on in the borough today. Everyone paying attention on the edge of their seats, if they're even bothering to sit right now.
Well, they've been long-suffering fans for a lot of years, these people. It's Newcastle United and Sunderland, more often than not, that get a lot of the great crowds and regarded with the passion fans, but the borough fans have been great throughout a lot of the years, going back to the great days of Wilf Mannion back in the 30s and 40s and Brian Clough. But this is their night for European glory, and they've just stepped in a big cow heap here.
Did win the League Cup back in the 04 campaign. Finished as runners-up in the FA Cup in 96-97. And that's about it.
That's it. And, you know, as we were saying before, for the millions that have been poured into this club by Gibson, it's nowhere near what they should have come away with, because this coach, McLaren, has had unlimited budget to get this team right. He's had the time as well. Steve McLaren doesn't come away with anything this year. I think you can forget about the England job anyway for my money, but
maybe forget about the Borough job too.
I've always thought that McLaren should be held more accountable for not providing bigger spoils. Like you said, the Carling Cup was the only pot he's ever won, but they're always, you know, mid-division. Really haven't done anything. This is their night. They've got to come through.
As you pointed out, they have had some success a couple of years ago winning the Youth Cup, but that doesn't mean as much in the Premiership anymore, as basically a lot of those guys just end up stocking the rosters of the Championship as you sell them off to buy someone from Europe. Viduka drawing the foul.
Need to start finding him a little bit more regularly now. It's 20 minutes in, the engine's warm. They need to start finding Hasselbank and Viduka with a lot more searching, telling balls. That ain't going to do it.
Boateng has been very erratic so far today.
Rochenbach is the one that looks as if he's got his feet on nicely here tonight. In that central midfield area, he's going to be the one pulling the strings, supplying the silver bullets for that man there. He's had nothing to feed on in the first 21 minutes other than one little snapshot in the first couple of minutes.
Hasselbank. Kudroy. Downing trying to show, but finally gets open. The pass behind him and a panicked ball all the way back to Southgate. His pass for Rochenbach intercepted. Talked about how this was putting him in the driver's seat. You weren't that sure, but they absorbed a lot of the pressure early on from Borough, keeping him away from the danger zone. And now all of a sudden, that quick strike on the miscue, and bam.
But it wasn't just a quick strike, was it either, Phil? And it wasn't just bam. It was good connected football that found a way through Middlesbrough's midfield, and they were brave enough to take a good shot at goal. The goalkeeper fumbles.
Postina pushing it forward to Jakob, back down the flame. The goal scorer, Dică, waits it to the back post, a little too long. Well-controlled lob in. Tackled aside for the corner. Dojan also checking in at about 6'3". Past the midway point of half number one. Skips through and just wide. Almost looked like that came off of Riget's head. It did. That would have been insult to insult. Forget about the injury. Back post. Knocked down. Good save by Jones. Leaves it again. Rebound, shot, score.
Unbelievable.
Goyan there to clean up the garbage.
There's Steve Gibson, the money man, seeing all of his millions just whiz down the drain here tonight. Great goal by Goyan.
Jones makes the save this time, but he can't get back up to make the second. And again, the absence of Schwarzer looms huge.
Well, it was dodgy defending the first time when Riggett wasn't able to clear it. That was serving big time notice. This is the second stab that they get it. It's a wicked goal. Goalkeeping again for me. He's got to be looked at, Phil. That's terrible, man. Palming it down like that.
And it's not so much down, but down and out. If he keeps it down by him, he can smother it, but by pushing it on the doorstep...
Catch it, man. I'm sorry, Phil. I don't see there's any way to excuse this goalkeeper. Two cataclysmic mistakes. And it was poorly defended by Steve McLaren's defence. They didn't do much to protect young Jones.
Now Stour wins this. Do they send a thank you card to West Ham?
I think, as we said before, an awful lot got taken out of the sails of this Middlesbrough club with that devastating loss to West Ham in the FA Cup semi-finals. But all the Middlesbrough players, down to a man, said, we're not tired, we don't feel any sense of anything other than pure urgency to get this team into a European Cup final.
It was Goyan on the first, and there to clean up. Poor clearance as well, as you were talking about, from Andrew Taylor. And as much as we might love Casey Keller and the arguments about Jens Lehmann and how good Dida used to be, Schwarzer, in my mind, might well be the best goalkeeper on the planet when healthy. And that's the one reason why Australia might be one of the surprises in Germany, and one of the reasons Burrow has been a surprise until today in his absence in the UEFA Cup.
Sure.
Macaroni on.
Got to gamble now. Southgate is the sacrificial lamb. Taking one for the team.
Well, he led the spark last time they desperately needed it, and they need 4 goals again today. Got to start with one.
That's right. We said it before, every revolution has a starting point, but I tell you what, this Middlesbrough team was saying 10 minutes in that they weren't finding their forwards with anything like any rhythm, certainly without any danger threatening Steaua Bucharest's goal.
Out towards the flank, Downing. Viduka, they have a box around them. And really, in my mind, they're showing no respect at all to Hasselbank. Everyone going around Viduka. Now Hasselbank on the move, and an awful ball from Barnaby. You take a look at the ball comes near Viduka. He's got 4 defenders around him. Someone's got to be open.
Downing's been anonymous 25 minutes in. Forwards, you're right, Phil. They've got to just feast on something, haven't they? They've had no supply delivered to them. The midfield's been really well contained and actually turned over by the Steaua Bucharest team. Once they get position, they are really pushing onto Middlesbrough and have done right from the get-go. This Teesside crowd now just absolutely stunned at this scoreline. 1 was damaging, 2 was catastrophic. They've got to get something back, a threat, get this crowd back into it. They've been very, very quiet in their attacking play, Middlesbrough.
The most important thing for Jones, forget everything that's happened to this point, and it's easier said than done, especially when you haven't been getting a lot of time.
I don't buy that. I'm sorry.
Chance for Hasselbank, shot deflected.
How many times do you see goalkeepers come in from the reserve team or from the bench and perform like miracle workers? He had plenty of notice that he's going to be playing in this game. He has absolutely frozen. It's a big case of stage fright for me for Jones.
But you don't disagree, he's got to put it behind him now. Off the corner from Macaroni, back post, knotted down, cleared up for Hasselbank, controls it back. Macaroni, one man to beat on the flank, dribbles his way into the double team, swept up by Boateng, and again, he's worse than anonymous. You're noticing how bad his passes have been. Viduka, look at the defense on him, and there it goes. Kudru, a lot of pressure on Riggett.
Good ball.
Now what does Downing do with it? Gets past. Low shot into the wall.
Nice.
Rosenbach. Back heel try off the boot of Hasselbank wide.
Much better by Middlesbrough and the fans, letting them know that that's more like it. It's taken them way too long to get into rhythm and start finding each other. This is clever, clever football by Rosenbach. Was well started and initiated by Downing earlier on. He had a part in that good attack as well, as did Viduka. They need to maintain this impetus now.
Foul called.
You've got to remember, Phil, it's not too long ago at all, maybe 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months ago, that this Middlesbrough fan base was so fed up with McLaren and their team struggling at the foot of the Premiership, struggling for survival, throwing the season tickets at the coach's dugout. They got out of that, but this will be a sad...
Ball deflected just over. Nice try again from Jakob.
Be a sad, sad way to end their season, getting bounced out of 2 semi-finals and finishing in the bottom end of the Premiership.
So getting this close doesn't salvage anything?
Not at all. I think it'll be worse for McLaren.
And these are the chances that almost happened. That was Riggett's ball that almost went into his own net, which set up the corner that was eventually buried by Goyan. Just trickles over the sideline. Just about 15 minutes, counting injury time until halftime. You kind of wonder whether McLaren's wishing he would have stayed up in the stands, be it superstition or just farther away from the stench. Macaroni sticking a boot in. 8th foul of the game against Borough.
You could see it written all over Steve Gibson's face, though, when we had a look at him in that director's box. I'd be really wondering to himself, what's the next move? McLaren's had a lot of time with this club, man. A lot of years to get it right. And it says a lot about him that he can't get his team past 2 semi-finals. And they're mired at the bottom. We're down in the Premiership.
So if that's the case,
13th
then
place.
Why is he one of the final handful of candidates for the England job?
Beats the hell out of me. Typical of the FA.
Boateng. Oprita pushes it forward. Jakob. Long ball, Taylor. Rosenbach. Macaroni. Goal! Well, is this going to spark the comeback?
Viduka at the heart of this. Viduka supplies it. Beautifully controlled. Mark Viduka spins out and plays it to this ball beauty, Macaroni, who dispatches emphatically. It's a lovely ball in from deep. It's poorly cleared. Viduka takes it down, one touch, finds Macaroni, intuitively spanks it, arrows it at the back corner. It's a nice lead ball, perfect control, perfect delivery. This game is back on, Phil.
Goyan lost his footing, which slowed down his challenge of Viduka by half a step, and that's all Viduka needed to find Macaroni.
Poor defensive header though, wasn't it?
They need 3 now.
Oh, unlucky. Well, all Northeast crowds are so passionate, and when you get a full house like this, rallying them on, it's going to be as if those 2 goals had never went in for Steaua Bucharest. I think his ears are hurting from the noise. T-Siders now really urging them on. Good goal by Macaroni. A beautifully straight ball, wasn't it?
Boateng in the collision. More pressure on the back line with Southgate out, but the substitution has worked. Kept in play, Marin. Pushing it forward, Bostina. Well, Macaroni cost them close to $13 million to get him over from Empoli in 02, product of AC Milan. And he has definitely, as we see there, added a little spice to this match, both in terms of teeth and in goals.
Certainly lifts the team when you see that happen as well. A substitute come in and responds for the boss.
Bostina. A little too long for Oprita. Trying to win it back, but can't from Taylor. Boateng. Difficult ball, but Riggett handles it.
Good football by Middlesbrough. Nicely played out to the back. Hasselbank screaming there, he wants better service though, he's had enough. He wants something to feed on, the big wolf up front. That guy can find him. Good footballer, Russian back.
Hasselbank off target for Macaroni. Play on. Rosenbach. Barnaby. We did that earlier game with the 4 goals in the comeback. And it was amazing. You could sense the energy pouring down from the riverside. It's almost as though the fans helped score a couple of those goals.
Yep.
And you start to sense that here.
You do. Just increased the tempo a hell of a lot. Middlesbrough, it just defeats me why the urging of the coach to do this. There didn't seem to be that urgency earlier. It's back now.
Touch to side, Lovett, and out. Macaroni on the throw. Barnaby wants it. Well, they're a goal down with some awful play on the flanks. If they can get anything out of Barnaby, that's a push.
Yeah.
No, says the referee.
Way too easily. Oh, he's in.
Off. Viduka. Caught by the flag.
Oh, Viduka went down very, very easily there. That could have been a yellow card against him. Simulating, as they call it now. They've got the marksman. They've got Viduka and Hasselbank. They can hit from distance.
Fernandes in goal for Steaua. Gronea and Goyan the back line. Ogăraru on the right, Marin on the left. Rădoi and Lovin the center of the midfield. Oprita and Bostina on the flanks with Dică and Jakob. But right now it's Hasselbank getting past the goal scorer Goyan. Sweeps it through. Deflected to the top of the box. Boateng the shot that's cleared away. Jones in goal for Borough, Riggett by his lonesome in the center. For Southgate was substituted by Macaroni. Barnaby joining Kudru. Ball slipping through and Rădoi there to play at a safety. Rosenbach and Boateng in the center with Taylor, Downing, Hasselbank, Viduka and Macaroni. a very offensive formation from the Borough right now.
Well, it wasn't out of design by McLaren, though, was it? It was just out of desperation, but they'll take it anyway. Good ball, he's in!
One touch, Viduka! Viduka saved! Rebound off Hasselbank.
Terrible miss by Viduka. An absolute finger down the throat finish, and he spits it out. It's a beautiful ball in by Macaroni. Tremendous ball by Hasselbank. Mark fights his man off, but it's a terrible, terrible strike at goal. Fernandes saves it, Phil, but Mark Viduka's got to bury this, man. A little too quick on the trigger that way. Just needed a little bit of composure in the middle there by Mark.
But Borough fans are wondering, why couldn't the ball off Fernandez's feet lay on the doorstep like it did off of Jones twice earlier? It's a cruel game sometimes.
Well said. Great football, though, especially that lovely little dagger ball by Hasselbank to find Viduka. Very unselfish.
Last 10 minutes have been all Borough, but they've dug themselves a hole. Downing, deflected, corner. Third of the game.
And Hasselbank can be criticised so many times for being selfish, for always hogging it and always wanting to take that shot when he's got players free, but that time Jimmy Floyd found his Australian teammate with another beautiful little deft touch. Viduka done so well to hold his defender off.
Swept in, Downing, off of Hasselbank.
Oh!
Chested, volleyed over the bar.
Very, very close, just couldn't get it over it enough.
Taylor had some time.
Brings it down beautifully, young Taylor. Look at that. Think of a handball, but gets away with it. Yep. Can he get his knee over it? And down. Shanks it over the top. The grandmas and daughters.
The field definitely tilting down on the right. Hasselbank taken down, close to a yellow.
And this half-time whistle's going to come all too quick for Steve McLaren and Middlesbrough, because they are at full tilt right now. Steaua Bucharest ship is rocking. They're in a bit of a storm right now under this non-stop attack by Borough.
Bounces through, Macaroni realizes he should have made the run.
I was just going to say, seriously, right before that chance for Mark Viduka, that in this high-tempo Middlesbrough, they've still got to keep their cool heads. Like killers when it happens, when they get those situations presented to them, it's still got to take that coolness to finish off the work. Viduka stole my thunder. A great example, though, of doing everything right up until the last movement.
He drew a long ball out for the throw, deep in the Steaua end. Tenth foul against Borough. Mention the fact that Steaua has been around since 1947. They've won the Champions Cup. They've won the Super Cup. While you have to go all the way back to 1876 for Borough. They've been around for more than a century and a quarter, and still looking for their first huge piece of hardware. Well, there's Sven. Keeping an eye on several players who might play for him and who might play against him, and maybe the man who might replace him, but not a good mark on the resume today so far.
Well, we've all got our opinions about it all, but that's the England Brain Trust, number 1 and number 2, all right.
Viduka trying to find Macaroni again. Boateng, a harsh call.
I think he's right as well. He's got to feel sad about that. referee Michel down and saying that there was too much of an awkward challenge here. He reaches in.
Boateng, one of the reasons that Clarence Seedorf will not be going to Germany, as he has drawn Van Basten's eye. Barnaby high into the air.
This momentum get away from them here. Middlesbrough going into the locker room, not just for themselves but for these fans that they're going to need in the second half. We need to finish on another high note here.
Up for Hasselbank. Barnaby stepping forward to make that Downing. Rochenbach back to the flank. Downing.
Terrible.
Well tackled. And then dances with it out of bounds.
Made the room for himself, young Nick Downing, but it needed to be delivered. He hesitated. The door was locked in front of him. Just like that.
Riggett pushing forward. Got to get it up. Viduka. Cleared away. Muddy. Getting some help. Jakob all the way back. Barnaby. Final minute of regulation ticking down. Too long, it sails out for the throw. And again, Borough, by giving up even just one road goal, means that they now need to beat Steaua by 2. So 3 goals are needed before this one is over, or Steaua will move on to the final.
Good amount of injury time here to be played. This team's really just got to start delivering the goods into that box in a more threatening way, and that'll be the first thing on Stephen McLaren's list, I'm sure. Like that, that's a good ball.
On the turn! How did it miss?
How much did this guy know about it?
Carlos Fernandes just robbed Mark Viduka of the equalizer.
Wonderful acrobatic hit there by Viduka.
Macaroni still loose. The volley wide.
Look at Fernandes looking at his heaven. He was saying his Hail Mary's full of grace when this one was hit. It's just a hopeful ball right in. It's knocked down beautifully. Viduka controls it very well. Goalkeeper loses it altogether. He's leaning the wrong way. By the grace of God, this ball gets slapped out by his fallen leg. Look at him, he cannot believe it. Looks like Bambi on ice. It's just coming at him. And then he gets the heebie-jeebies. Sees the ball out of harm's way. McLaren cannot believe his luck tonight. That was unlucky. Great play by Viduka, though.
So again, 2 balls left on the doorstep by Jones, and somehow, as you pointed out, by the grace of the Almighty, when Fernandes has it deflect, it does not find a Middlesbrough boot.
Or the back of the net. Could you say it was the save that? Not so sure.
Well, maybe not by Fernandes, but by someone. Nice touch. Bostina trying to get it back, but can't. Boateng long upfield. You see, the success from Borough is when Hasselbank pushed forward and Viduka withdrew a little bit. That changed the shape of the defense. And
well, you can chart it up any way you like with the X's and O's for me. But the one thing that's changed the tempo and the mindset of this Middlesbrough team is good passing, better passing, finding forwards that can actually do things. With better supply, you've not got the good balls in, Phil. All the tactics in the world, you'll not get anywhere. Middlesbrough started to find players better. It's as simple as that. But for me, the one that needs to really start to polish his game up with better passing is Downing. McLaren said before this game he's got the forwards to do this mission and really come away with a big win. Of course, he wasn't expecting to have to score 4, but he's he's happy with his forwards, but he said we've got to get the supply into them.
They are putting it down. Rădoi clearing it away. Would have been offside, so Hasselbank waits. Perhaps could have challenged for that second ball, but doesn't. And as you pointed out, a lot of injury time. Final few seconds as the whistle comes up. And the first half goes down in the books as a 2-1 Stour lead. 3-1 on aggregate. Borough needs 3 to advance. Getting set for the start of the second half. Good work so far by both teams, except for 2 crucial miscues by the backup goalkeeper Jones, and that is why Middlesbrough needs to score 3. Hasselbank, Macaroni, and cleared away by Marin.
Didn't come down for him quick enough, was it, Hasselbank? Just waiting for that little drop ball, another foot, and he was going to unload.
And again, you take a look at this Borough side as a foul called early, and Boateng took a kick to the back of the neck, it looks like. This is a team that has had injury problems down the stretch. Here as we watch the attempted clearance. Oh! Rădoi. He might have taken some skin away. Dangerous play, even the borderline yellow card, but Middlesbrough trying to calm things down. Talking about
just unfortunate here, isn't it? There's no intention whatsoever, and that he's apologising before he even hits the ground, but certainly doesn't help the lad on the floor. He's got an open skull.
They lose Cudru for much of the season. He comes back. Viduka plagued by injury. They end up losing Mendieta for the rest of the campaign. Pogatet's for the rest of the campaign.
The Mendieta one was really big, Phil. But as you said, Schwarzer was an enormous loss to this club's mental state, as much as anything. Losing basically who has been your most valuable player.
And you also wonder if Pogatet's is on the back line. Maybe one of those loose balls gets cleared.
Sure, Pogatet's has been a good player this year for McLaren, but there's no accounting for goalkeeping blunders like that, Phil. You cannot equate with it, you cannot rationalise it sometimes, but 2 very hideous mistakes. Kubu there.
Ekyog and Ayegbeni getting ready. Obvious Rădoi did not sharpen the studs. Thank goodness for Boateng.
Yeah, it looked as if the actual cleat would have done more severe damage to the top of his head. It looks like his neck that took the...
Swept in, cleared away, Rădoi. Playing short-handed Borough at the moment until Boateng checks back in. That could open the door, but out it goes. Here's Taylor. It was his long ball forward that was mishandled by the Bucharest defense right to Viduka, and that led to Macaroni's goal. But again, even though in this match Borough is 1 goal from an equalizer, they're really 3 goals away from getting back in the driver's seat.
They're just taking it one at a time, and there seems to be much more commitment about them now.
Carlos Fernandes, whose bounces, fortunate for him, went wide. 49th minute into the 50th. And the fans in full voice in the supporters section. Again, this stadium only holds about 36,000. Well constructed, and partly because of the conditions up in the north. But the added benefit is that when the fans start making noise, just seems to rain down on the pitch. It can be very, very intimidating, even for a team as experienced as Steaua. Ball cleared away. Renea couldn't control. Hasselbank to the middle. Viduka slips.
Well, looking at those highlights through that first half, Middlesbrough have certainly given the fans plenty to rally behind them for. Had some incredible chances missed, and a couple that were saved by goalkeeping that really was more good fortune than good skill.
Nice back heel. Jakob showing he's got some grace for a big man, but Okrita couldn't do anything with it. Now Boateng. Best revenge. A dagger to the heart. But not on this play. Marin clears it to touch. Starting to sense a little bit more purpose here from Burrow, but is it Burrow putting the pieces together or Steaua drawing into a shell?
I think there'll be a bit of both. Steaua will certainly be more on the defensive pattern now, unquestionably, but we've seen before, they're so slick at finding each other and so precise with their passing attacks. This isn't just a lumped up front team, so Steaua can really hit you with a select number of very considerate passes, but they're doing the smart thing, falling deep, depending deeper without really bunkering in around the 18-yard box. But Middlesbrough simply have to find each other with a little bit more accuracy and find those passing lanes through this well-organized Romanian side.
Well, to get through the quarterfinals of both the UEFA Cup, as Downing has his feet taken out by Okrita, and obviously Michael has seen enough. Needed to score 4 to beat Basel and 4 to beat Charlton.
There you go.
They need to score 4 to beat Steaua and get to the final.
I mean, that defies all probability. You couldn't write a script in Hollywood and be considered, you know, sane, thinking that they're going to do it 3 times, but that's what's on the agenda now. They've got to do it for the 3rd time in this competition.
Hasselbank and Fernandes well worked in the goal.
Ball pulled up just too long for Hasselbank to get any sort of leap or sort of run on. It was a goalkeeper's ball all day. Came out and claimed it finally. But again, not a good ball in.
Better than what we've seen, but
yeah,
not to the quality we got used to from Downing last year.
not at all.
Another chance for Viduka.
Well held up. Nice switch.
Big Aussie to the far side for Barnaby. Lofted through. Cleared away by the giant Sgoyan.
Just a hopeful ball in by Middlesbrough. And again,
Goudreau on the turn, and Fernandes smothers it. Good ball, but Viduka couldn't get anything on it.
tremendous finish here by Viduka. Again, great skill holding the defender off, bouncing off his player. It's just a hopeful bump into the box. It's not really intended for anybody in particular, but Viduka makes it his and really threatens on goal. He's been the one threatening more than anybody. It's a really good attempt by Viduka.
Downing to Boateng.
Just cannot find that extra foot away from the goalkeeper, can he, all night long?
Rosenbach.
Good play.
Hasselbank. Down the throat. Boateng on the turn.
Yakubu wasn't on our list coming in here on the substitutes bench. Didn't have him listed, but he's on the officials list, and that's all that matters. The big man. It was a huge signing, $7.5 million from Portsmouth.
To the 55th minute we go. Ayegbeni Yakubu warming up. Now who do you pull out? In my mind, it's got to be Taylor. Take out the inexperience.
What about the goalkeeper? I'm kidding. Come on.
You're cruel. Viduka on the turn. Sweeps away.
Unlucky.
For Boateng.
Back post was on. Switch was better. Didn't find him.
Will we get the substitute now? And it will be Taylor.
Unfortunate again, it's more than just tactical substitution because Taylor's played well. Need that height strength of Yakubu.
Now, this definitely is a front-weighted roster.
Ooh, nice ball.
Dică to the middle. Lovin, 2-5 for Jakob. Yakubu, born in Nigeria back in November of '82. Checks in just over 6 feet tall. Actually started his professional career, and we had the chance to follow him at Maccabi Haifa in past UEFA Cup play. Scored 7 goals in 8 Champions League appearances, including a hat-trick against Olympiacos. Moved over to Portsmouth, and now to Borough. They need something from someone, and he might well be a physical presence to create some openings for Vedem or Hasselbank.
Well, he's certainly a good player, Yakubu, but he hasn't scored for a long time, Phil. He's had a run of 12 games without hitting the back of the net, and that ain't a good thing for a goal scorer. But man, if they ever need his goals, more than this game here this year, I don't know when it would have been.
Well, they needed one of his. In fact, here at the Riverside, off the spot against Roma to even get this far.
He's scored 19 goals, but he's just not. He's just gone cold.
Hasselbank, can he get there? Nice ball, but the run from Rochenbach wasn't there.
There's that good connective counter-attack that we warned about before.
Jakob with Dică in the middle. Well-defended Riggett, but they give up possession.
You can see what we were alluding to earlier. I think 3 or 4 passes from this Steaua Bucharest team, and he'll pick you apart. Just didn't have any support with him. Good tackle.
Rochenbach.
And again.
And that was not an accident. He was aiming where that tackle would go. Fabio Rochenbach might well make the Brazilian squad, but he definitely deserves to be considered for the final 23 for the World Cup. Downing.
Better ball.
Vedem.
Nice play.
Barnaby.
He's in!
Vedem cleared away by Goyan. In the right place at the right time.
I don't think I've ever seen Mark Vedem be so acrobatic with his efforts at goal. Everything seems to just be hanging in the air for him, unfortunately. And the Australian is doing these matrix efforts to get his shots and fire these shots at goal with tremendous acrobatic work.
All just behind Vedem.
I mean, that's a big guy, Vedem. You know, that's some bulk to get up off the air.
Well, he finally will have a chance in the World Cup. I mean, you take a look at someone like a Christian Vieri, who decided to declare for Italy and has had the chance on this world stage numerous times. The native Australian. Vedem could have done something similar with Croatia, but elected to stick with his native land. Nice work by Yakubu. Pass leaves a little bit to be desired. And now finally Australia back after a 30-year absence.
Coming awfully close to finding the little passageway through here, Middlesbrough, and now again good football.
Boateng.
Again.
Oh. Back heel.
Needed to go left.
And Hasselbank needed to be on his toes. Riggett.
Oh.
Chested down, Barnaby with a good ball. Stepping up.
Tidal wave attack now, just coming one wave after the other for the Borough.
Macaroni. Fernandes! Yakubu smothered, but the ball slapped far enough away, there's no whistle. He calls that, and he's going to pull a card. I don't think that was a foul. I think he got the ball.
Perfect positioning by a referee who's played very well for me, called everything correct. Let's have a look. I think it was late, Phil. I think it was from behind. A little harsh, you could see, a little harsh perhaps, but let's take a look here.
Comes from the side, the second leg. The second leg makes it an obvious card.
Tang the blade.
60 minutes in the book, 30 more, and Borough needs to score 3.
They've not lost one spectator from this crowd. It's still willing them on. Pushing for this equaliser that'll be the start of better things to come. They'll need 2 more after that.
Downing slips as he serves it in.
See those balls for me, and that's going to drive Steve McLaren just up the wall. Just those hopeful balls in. It's one thing hitting Route 1 football into the heart of the Stour defence, but they've got the bulk, Phil. They've got the big lighthouses of Hasselbank and Viduka and Yakubu to find. There's really no excuse to not find them with better quality balls.
Downing a nice header to Yakubu. Well switched over to Macaroni.
Good position.
Carnaby on the run. Macaroni. Hasselbank. Pulled down. Penalty. They're going to call a dive.
Absolutely right for my money. Absolutely right. And he knows it. Caught. Guilty as sin. Look at him. He knows it. Cheating. Diving. Call it what you want. He could have went on. He drives past the defender. There's no contact, and he's going down before the defender's even close to him. It's poor touch as well by Hasselbank to get away from him. If he had better control, he would have been in and hammered it. Goyan does nothing wrong.
You can see he's thinking about tackling, and the big man pulls back at the last moment.
Well, we were singing the referee's praises before, and he's lived up to it.
Lubos Mikkel doing a great job there.
Totally.
Hasselbank had me fooled.
Well, I think he had most of the Riverside fooled as well, Phil, but the referee, perfect position, wasn't buying it. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank knew he got caught with his hand in a cookie jar there.
Macaroni tries to come back to win it. There's a foul.
This was slight as well.
Substitute number 1. Looks like Simeon lacing up the shin pads. Ball bouncing Bostino's way.
She said though, Phil, this not as if this team hasn't been here before. They've had 2 incredible dress rehearsals, identical situations, and they've came back from the dead. Middlesbrough. It's just stretching the bounds of credibility to ask them to do it 3 times, surely. They are really asking serious questions of a wobbly Stour defence, and they're doing it again.
Hasselbank again mistouches.
Good ball.
Carnaby to Macaroni.
Great ball!
Hasselbank just wide of the post.
Ah! Takes it out on the advertising hoardings here. It's a beautiful ball down the lane. It's even better ball by the bald man across the face of goal. Macaroni doesn't get the best of touches on it. Jimmy Floyd, it needed a little bit of a sweeter touch to steer it into the goal, and he shanks it. And he kicks the advertisers. Angry with himself, Steve McLaren sees it come and sees it go. But see, it was a great ball across the face of goal, wasn't it? By Macaroni. Just
like
needed a little guiding into the goal by Hasselbank.
Downing.
Who's it?
Headed. Goal! It's Viduka. And the red tide starting to rise around Stour's neck.
Beautifully said, Phil. This was it. One of the balls you have been seeing that needs better providing. And this is what happens when you get better service. The ball is supplied to Mark Viduka. It's put on an altar for him. It's inviting him onto the ball. He's got a good run at it, you see. Good control, lovely touch. Downing sends it. Well attacked by Viduka. Hammers it. Rises majestically above the defender. The goalkeeper comes like a schoolboy, or schoolgirl I should say. And Viduka gets up above everybody. Poor goalkeeping by Fernandes, who has been looking more nervous than a Beirut grocery run lately. He's going to get more nervous now. Teesside is starting to sense that the impossible is nothing.
Lightning has already struck twice. Will it strike 3 times on the Riverside?
Astonishing. Hey, tell you what.
Macaroni deflected.
This third one goes in for Middlesbrough. You'll see the foundations of this stadium actually levitate.
Beautiful work from Riggett.
They're roaring this team on now.
Downing to the middle. Rochenbach. Boateng. With space.
Nice.
Rochenbach.
Pretty.
Boateng. Still loose.
Number safety.
Barnaby.
Never run. Ball that needed to be played out wide. Quicker. Had a spare man out. Beautiful supplied ball this. Majestic header. Brave header.
And the defense falls asleep. Yakubu was there as well. Goyan needed to guard both, and he just could not.
Yeah, he did his best. You're right, Phil. Great spot. Goyan has been an absolute titan out there for Steaua Bucharest.
Viduka.
They've got the time. They've got 25 minutes. They're going to have to be a little bit more calm and considerate. The tempo's up. The blood's racing through the veins now, coursing up to the brain, and it's really affecting the lads. And he says, yep, my rush of blood there. Just be a little bit more considerate. There ain't any coaching them now. All of his coaching's done. No.
Handball. If that's Dică,
oh, it is.
He'll be out for the final.
Oh, silly. Silly.
So they will get Nicolita and Padashev back should they hold on.
You see the misery in his face. So what a good footballer as well, Dică. Phil, that is a catastrophe for that poor man.
Well, speaking of the Northeast, I mean, just the look of despair on Paul Gascoigne's face, flashing back to 82 in the World Cup. Dică knew the moment he touched it, what a huge mistake he'd made. Oprita.
So many times in these types of players' careers that they'll get to a European Cup final. It's his dream. You don't get these opportunities often in a career, and to see it taken away from Dică for a stupid handball.
And again, it's not like they need the goal.
Really?
They're actually still up by, in effect, 2. Borough,
no, you're right,
because of the away goals, needs to score 2. It's aggregate 2-3, but Steaua with the tiebreaker.
Just a brainless play there by poor Dică.
Balan checking in, providing a little bit more depth in front of Jonea and Goyan. Right down Main Street, but a little too far. Viduka pressures Fernandes.
Downey trying to find the targets from way deeper now. It's not a bad ploy if it's given the right considerations with his passes, leading his players on into the spaces like he did for the goal for Viduka. It's such a lovely ball.
Withdrawal from Riggett.
Taking some risks at the back now, obviously. Middlesbrough just leaving 2 back.
Downing. Rochenbach.
Good play.
Boateng. Off to the flank for Macaroni. To the back post. Too far.
Well intentioned though. just a poor ball, but they're the types that he wants to be. Driven in, Steve McLaren. Come on, boys.
Again, this, even though it has been a disaster for Steve Gibson and the fans on the T side in the Premiership this year, has been a wild run through the Cup and the UEFA Cup like they have never seen before.
Well, those same faces, if this third one goes in, they'll start to see the veins popping out of the necks, urging them on for that fourth one.
They'll start to see a peak of heaven. 20 minutes left. Rosenbach. Stauers. Looks like they might be dropping back too much. Boateng. Barnaby. Back for the Dutchman. Off to Yakubu. Yakubu. Rosenbach on the left. And it didn't miss by much. He had Fernandes leaning the other way.
Brave effort, wasn't it? Rosenbach lifts off it. Yakubu sets him up. Feigns it one way. He hits it. Beautiful effort. Just doesn't dip enough towards the end of it. It would have taken the net off and it would have taken this roof off. Southgate. Pulling his hair out. He wishes he was out there. Got to suffer in silence now.
Just curious, why Southgate and not Riggett going back to that substitution? It's worked. 19.
Why question it?
Good point.
But you're right. Southgate is the one, Phil, with the pedigree and with that great drive in his game. But McLaren's move has done well.
Boateng. Macaroni with Barnaby. Ball just bouncing like it has a jumping bean in it right now.
Still love to see rushing back. This man on the ball getting more involved with it. He knows
where the
daggers
space
are spelt.
Boateng. Macaroni. Barnaby. Goyan high and wide.
It's obvious what Middlesbrough do. Steaua Bucharest have got no answer to it. Middlesbrough is getting the ball out wide. They're looking for the bullets across the face of goal.
Deflected. Still there.
He's on. He's
Downing. Loose. They've done it. It's Riggett. So much for the doubts now. It's a one-goal game.
Miraculous. And they will be going absolutely ballistic all over this ground. Not just that one snapshot. There's the chairman. There's the money man. We can do it. We've seen it here before 2 times. This place is just going absolutely insane. An incredible comeback by Middlesbrough. Beautiful pullback there by Downing. Smacks it in. They don't deal with it. They think it's gone out of danger. Downing says, no, it ain't. Goalkeeper again slaps it out. Poor goalkeeping again. It's got to be said, Fernandes, but this one's too hot to handle. Hammered in there. Riggett. He can see it. He's dancing on hot goals. The ball gets buried by Riggett. Pounces on Fernandes' slap. Can they get one more? What a finale. Shakespeare couldn't have wrote drama like this. Unbelievable.
The best of times in the Cups, the worst of times in the league. Here's Yakubu. Yakubu taken down. Quickly restarted. Or will it be? No. Mikkel just wants to get into position.
Well held off Yakubu. Reaching in from behind.
What? For a team that's been around since the 1870s, for all of the history that has been made in the April of 2006, beating Basel 2 goals down to score 4-1. Beating Charlton 4-2, a foul in the area. And now they need a 4th against Steaua, or all of this work is for naught.
That's been a Herculean effort. And you cannot say that third goal came by any great artistry. The ball was a questioning one across Stour's defence, but they just couldn't get it away. There wasn't a defender that had enough of a lift on his clearance, and when it fell to Downing, it was up to the goalkeeper to save the bacon. He couldn't do it, and Riggett capitalised.
Macaroni. Cudrew.
A real defender's goal, wasn't it, for
Downing
young
again.
Riggett?
By moving Downing back to the left back outside of Cudrew. Nice for Yakubu.
Oh, inches away.
Again to Downing.
Look out. Not deep enough.
Donea getting to knock it wide. But again, moving Downing back, that means his first touch is normally to a forward who has less defense around him.
So he's got the space, dropping deeper, though he's got the space and time to deliver better balls.
Hasselbank to Viduka. Deflected in the box. Spins away.
He said before he was a little bit nervy. He's not exactly the Rock of Gibraltar, this goalkeeper Fernandes, is he?
Maybe a touch of the Blarney Stone, though, because he's got some luck today. And he needs it. Think about the ball from Hasselbank that just missed wide.
And the chances from Viduka earlier on in the game, that first half.
Rochenbach shot that just sailed over the bar. Viduka's one that was headed, had him wrong-footed and somehow bounced off his leg and went wide. Look at the work from Boateng. After a miserable first half, he has been the motor here in the second. Too far for Viduka.
Well, Steaua Bucharest's big boat has been rocking on the highest waves this entire second half, and they're taking in water here now.
Yakubu. The ball bounces to Macaroni.
Get a look. Crowd has certainly played their part into it, as we said they would.
Barnaby to Rochenbach. Deflected away. Barlan gives up the throw-in.
Entire stadium on their feet now. The Geordie girls, well, Teesside girls. Geordie girls are better looking.
Viduka
deserves a shot at goal like that. Deserves it for himself. He's worked hard enough, and he is capable of those incredible dynamite strikes.
And you can see the fans, they're not happy at the delaying tactics from Fernandes, but Mikel will certainly add this at the end. Nice play. Macaroni. You can see why Milan liked him. Downing, Yakubu, out for the throw. Rochenbach. Boateng. Hasselbank. Dică. Jakob forward. Good run.
Good play.
Cut in front of the challenge to either draw a foul or hold on.
It's a foul.
Should it be a card? Rochenbach not happy. Again, that was Lovin pushing forward from the midfield.
Yeah, that was a good brave run by Lovin, wasn't it, Phil? I mean, he took the ball right across the face of Middlesbrough's midfield. Little angel.
It has been an exciting run for Middlesbrough. But does it end here? Balan. Barnaby back. Rochenbach, Macaroni. Barnaby. He was part of that comeback against Basel. Hasselbank draws the foul. Earlier, I asked, would this be the type of well, for lack of a better word, boring encounter in a second leg we have seen from Arsenal and Barcelona to advance to the cup final. It has been anything but.
I think my response to that was, I think we'll see goals tonight, but I didn't think it would come as dramatically as this.
Ball cleared away by Jonea. Out for the throw.
Crowd absolutely willing them on now, trying to suck the ball into the net.
A roar that will be heard back in Romania if this one goes in.
Absolutely, we hear it here in Miami if this one goes in, Phil.
Switching fields well.
Good ball across to a header.
Cleared away by Oprita. Oh, and a slip. Coming out, Oprita coming in. Bacio getting a chance here in what will be one of his biggest encounters. Catalan Bacio playing for Tiny Bacau before coming over 2 years ago to Steaua.
Certainly doesn't look nervous at all, blowing bubbles.
Rochenbach didn't have time, didn't need it. Boateng. Parnaby. The lull before the storm, the eye of the hurricane. Pick whatever description you want, but this game is not over yet.
Well, the last 5 minutes have fallen away a little bit, not finding each other better than what they were earlier, Middlesbrough. And the grains of sand are ticking through this hourglass now. Phil, every pass is so crucial. Every possession is vital for Middlesbrough if they're going to crack the code of Steaua Bucharest and send this crowd into delirium. If they get this fourth goal, they've still got to be considerate and thoughtful with their passes.
Balan, too hopeful.
It's what's brought them back up from the mat like Lazarus, Middlesbrough.
We are tied at 3 in aggregate, but there will not be extra time or penalties.
It's just not all about urgency is what I'm seeing. It's good passing that's going to find their way through this team like that.
If the score holds, Steaua moves on. Hasselbank runs. If Burrow scores, it would be Middlesbrough to the final. It's all or nothing. And if he was looking to find out how players respond under pressure, it doesn't get much more pressure-filled than this. 8 minutes left. Dică for Yakubu, but intercepted by Balan.
And on the other side, Steaua Bucharest cannot afford one slip.
Boateng with a yellow, got to be careful.
And you saw before for that goal from Riggett, the one that was played across the face of goal, how nervous they can be and how ineffective they can be in dealing with those balls into the box if they're provided with enough pace and accuracy. And that's Middlesbrough's final challenge in this tournament.
Long throw to the center of the park for the Frenchman, Ogăraru. Yakubu, well defended by Ogăraru, but not far enough. Fernandes, it's loose, and he bounces on it in time. You could see the screaming from Jonea, the defender. He's not happy that ball was left loose.
I wonder what he was seeing in Romania to this goalkeeper. Comes, he spills it. He's a little unlucky, to be honest with it, because the defender comes in this accidental contact. Man, they thought that one was in.
Cleared away. 8 games left to go in Romania, and Steaua in a 3-way tie with Dinamo and Rapid. So it could be the Champions League, it could be the Cup again next year.
Oh.
But all they're worried about right now for the final 5 minutes is a ticket to the final, which they hold desperately between their fingertips.
And it ain't too strong in the grip, Phil. They're not showing too much signs of great resilience now. The grasp is really slipping away here now.
Still in play.
Have they got the time, Middlesbrough? Oh.
I don't know if that one was all the way over.
Yeah, they're still being stubborn. Steaua Bucharest, but very wobbly at the back. And the midfield is virtually collapsing in on that back line for them as well, giving them really no competitive edge in this area. So all the defenders coming out from the back. They're basically defending with 5, 4 sitting in front of them now.
Jonea knocking it all the way over. Parnaby gets there first. Back to Brad Jones, who is thanking God he hasn't had to face a shot here in the second half. Downing. Boateng, like a little bulldog. Yakubu behind Viduka.
Coolness again. Going to be the undoing.
Go through, whistled for the foul.
Just lacking that little edge and sophistication, aren't they, when they get the ball in those great little areas. Middlesbrough not able to find the telling ball or the questioning one. There's still so much hope in the stadium that even if they get the ball into the mixer, as they say, Route 1 football, that something can come about from the snap, crackle, pop into the box. Because I tell you what, it won't be long before all the tactics and wherewithal goes right out the window and they start just heaving it into the box and rushing on.
Not many fingernails left in Middlesbrough right now. 3.5 minutes. With the goals, the substitutions, the injuries, you would think at least 3 minutes of injury time from Lubos Mikkel, but you can't count on it.
Well, they're all on needles and pins now, the fans.
It's there. Yakubu challenges.
They've got the size and bodies, physical presence. They've got all the right pieces on the field.
Boateng. Back for Rochenbach. There's the man.
Blue shirts lined up in this. It's a bunker now. It wasn't earlier, it is now.
Hasselbank.
Wasn't too far away, but why aren't Middlesbrough flocking into that box? Asking themselves, what if it finds a way through? They're standing, admiring, watching it. They should have all been off to the races. They've got to sacrifice the bodies and the legs to get on the end of anything now.
He's screaming at Fabio Rochenbach. What more can you ask? Riggett pulled down. Actually, Cupa. You can still see some of the stitches he needed for that head wound earlier this year. Yakubu. Rochenbach for Macarone. Off of Rădoi and cleared away. Less than 2 minutes.
Taking agonizingly long time for the ball to even come out of the air now.
Cupa.
It's a good ball
chance.
down.
Viduka.
This is the one needs to be good supplied.
Downing.
Too shallow again.
Jonea got it. Hasselbank down.
Nothing
Referee's
there.
not buying it.
Oh. Good
Again,
play.
Viduka wants it, but he was off.
Good ball.
Headed! They've done it! Macaroni! Stick a feather in Steaua Bucharest and give Borough a ticket to the final.
Extraordinary! Magnificent! The brown ale will be flooding down the streets of Middlesbrough tonight in vats. An absolutely monumental comeback from Middlesbrough of epic proportions. It cannot be overstated. They were looking down the shotgun of a barrel, and they've stood up to them. They come back. Incredible.
And
Hasselbank trying to find it. Downing, beautiful supply. He said all along it's quality that's going to get them back in. He provides 24-carat gold with this. An emphatic header driving in, but the ball in was magisterial. Macaroni again. You said it all along, Phil. Unbelievable.
You used the word epic. It might not be Beowulf, but it's close. I have a feeling there will be people that will be writing books about this, saying that in the history of this game, you have never seen a month like Middlesbrough has had.
Astonishing, and going back to what we had said earlier, they've done this 3 times before. That's what makes it even more gargantuan, what they've achieved here.
Ugo Echiog stepping out onto the pitch. The experience that you need in a situation like this. Now the key is...
Look out!
A whistle blows. You cannot blink. One mistake and it's all gone. A goal from Steaua, and look at the Romanian heartbreak. A goal from Steaua, and the table tips the other way.
Now that's the other side of the story. The heartache and misery from these people who could smell it, they could touch it. And these people are just absolutely on cloud 9 and literally cannot believe it, just as that poor lad from Romania cannot believe it.
Quality, though. Ball bounces, loose, and Echiog wide. Was it a penalty? McLaren.
Incredible.
Reaching for the rosary beads.
Finale of finales, this.
Zonea getting set off the corner. Even Carlos, the goalkeeper, is up. Back into the mix. Riggett wide. Now a handball and a free kick for Steaua just outside.
It never ends.
Hand up.
He's the coolest man in here, this referee. He's been absolutely splendid beyond belief.
Nesu.
And it's a handball, all right.
And Nesu, the substitute, who was beaten by Macaroni for the go-ahead goal.
This is so dangerous. It's a perfect position. It all comes down. Cometh the moment, cometh the man. Can Jones stand up and provide one?
His teammates have given him the reprieve.
Oh, look at this, Phil.
2 minutes into injury time. Dică wide off the deflection. Gibson. Pins and needles.
Never been a night like it. This stadium has never seen a game like it, never witnessed emotion like it, never saw a response like it. One truly for the history books. They don't have a big, thick, long history at all, Middlesbrough. Very, very sparse. Very humble achievements, but this one is one for the ages.
Off to the far side, Macaroni. Viduka chasing. Back for Carlos. Will it be Schalke or Sevilla? Right now, it will be Borough on May 10th in Eindhoven. Hasselbank cheering on from the bench. McLaren nervously pacing the sideline. The whistle, but not 3 blows, instead a foul against Viduka. Fernandes wants to take it. Deep into injury time. Cleared away.
That's it.
That will do it. Borough has reached the impossible. A trip to Eindhoven.